This is what it sounds like when I take MIDI files that I find for free on the internet and drop them into Reaper and just run them through a very, very, very simple additive synthesis. And I want to show you how to do it because times are crazy, and if you're anything like me, you need something to give you a little bit of peace and joy when those two things are very hard to come by. So hopefully this will be something that you can have a little fun with in these bonkers times. There's a whole cult on the internet dedicated to finding these things. They're sort of an open secret. Copyright wise, it's a very, very, very light gray area. There are a few occasions where using a MIDI file will get you into copyright trouble, but it's very rare. Most of them are works, instances of works that are composed hundreds of years ago, and when you re-render the audio on your MIDI file, you're making a new recording of that work, so you don't need to pay anybody for a master right. So you can have a lot of fun with this stuff as long as you're using MIDI that was in the public domain and renders of works that are in the public domain. But it's tedious to find it, so I've went ahead and done that work for you. You can go to crmatheny.net, linked below, and when you go there, you'll get to a file that looks like this. I'll expand this so you can see it. These are all MIDI files. A couple dozen of them in here for you. Let's pick one at random. Not sure what this is. When you open it up, it just looks like this. Oh, I randomly picked 4 Elise. That's cute. Yeah, so they're just a bunch of text. But what this is a very, very hyper compact version of music. Click this. It just plays it on the computer's default synth setting. No fun there. Nobody wants to hear that. So what you're going to do is download the software called Reaper, which is not free in that you should pay for it, but it is effectively free during the trial period. And they are happy for you to download it and then eventually pay them. They will guilt you and remind you that you haven't paid them, but there's no obligation when you download the software. Just download it and play with it. It's very fun. And then eventually give these wonderful people their money. Anyway, you're going to download Reaper, and when you do, it looks like this. I'll go to a blank file so it looks more like what's on your screen. And I'll drag this down a bit because you're going to want to see what happens when you drag this MIDI file in here. So let's go back out here and drag. We decided we were going to do for Elise, huh? So let's put that in here. And just go ahead and click whatever the dialogue says. Now what you're going to see is a bunch of little lines. And it looks a lot like a player piano roll because that's precisely what this is. It's a digital version of that. So this is the whole piece written out. You can zoom out and see what it looks like. And I think that's strikingly beautiful on its own. But you'll notice that if we press play, nothing happens. That's because we need to go here. Click Effects. And when you do, you're going to be taken to a dialog. You're going to see it open like this. You're going to go up here into Filter and type in MIDI. You're going to type in Reasynth. R-E-A-S-Y-N-T-H. And you're going to click Add. And now, when we press play, it'll sound like this. I'm going to turn this down so we don't get so many cracklies. Okay, that's neat. We're getting tone. This is volume. So these are all your synthesizer parameters that you can play with. You have volume, that's obvious. You have tuning, you can change its pitch. The first one I want to play with is down here, the wave shape. So right now it's a sine wave. Let's add some square wave to the mix. You can see what that does. That's what that sounds like. Add some sawtooth. Add some triangle. A little more subtle. And what you can do is also add an extra sine wave at about half, and then detune it by about 10 cents. Well, that's fun. Now up here, we can really start changing things. This is your attack, decay, sustain, and release. Uh, for new folks, I would recommend leaving decay and sustain alone. Let's start to play with the attack, and you'll hear it when I do it. Here how it softens. Now the release. Which makes the note hold for a lot longer. Let's go to the beginning of the track again. That's nice. Now we're getting a little bit of glass harmonica sound. Let's give it a little more body by adding some more of these square, sawtooth, and triangle elements in. Now, if we want to get really fun, we can add another instance of the synth and detune it. And we can make its release longer. If we want that as a body just sort of below the other synth, now we've got a nice rich tone here. And select any one of these effects. This one's the easiest to work with on a fly. I'm going to make it mono. And let's go hardcore. Sounds like a Pavement record already. Let's add some pitch shift. Why not? Now this is affecting the audio, not the MIDI. Let's mix it a little bit. And if you really like a part of it, that's nice here. Now we can select a little bit here and turn on this loop. And slide these around and find a loop that we might like. Turn that distortion off. Maybe we can add some delay. Beautiful. Let's turn this up a little bit. I found something really good in here before. Where was it? This bit's beautiful. Let's loop it. Yeah. I could just do this for hours. And especially when things are rough, it's nice to just disconnect and plug into how somebody else did things for a little while and let it sort of wash over you and affect how you do things in your own practice. And sometimes you can find some really incredible stuff that you wouldn't have come to this way. And also, it's just freaking fun. We need it. We need it right now. We need anything like this. Stuff like this right now that's just intrinsically fun. And I hope that's something that you might enjoy doing. The files are down there. And I will see you again sometime soon.